Welcome to another episode of Talking with JM. I'm your host, G.L.O.W, coming from CSP Studios in Tampa, Florida, birthplace of pro wrestling. And I got another special edition of Talking with JM this week. Lady Oyanka has joined me, and she's fresh off our huge conversation we had a few weeks ago that also included Hollywood and Lightning, two of the original ladies of wrestling, or the G.L.O.W, gorgeous ladies of wrestling, I should say. And try to, since we didn't get the opportunity then, I figured why not now get to know her a little bit better, that being Lady Oyanka. And here she is. Welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show.
What's up, Mikey? How you doing?
I am doing real good. Had a little technical issues earlier, but other than that, just fine. Nice and dandy. Those lightning storms out here can really screw things up for you. But other than
That's Florida for you.
Yeah, but other than that, we're here one-on-one. And too bad I can't have the option of other call-ins. Maybe Hollywood could have chimed in a little bit and making sure.
She's on a plane right now.
Oh, is she? Oh, okay.
Oregon.
All right.
In Oregon, so she's gonna gator fight with Laura.
Yeah, she's busy traveling. This lady cannot stay still for 1 second. Although she does find time to plank, I'll give her that. And then she heads off again. But
I think that's the only time she's still, and she's not even still for that.
Right. But we're here to get to know you and a little bit more about you from a few weeks ago. And well, tell us, where are you from originally? Where were you born? How was your childhood?
I'm from New York. My family is a mixture of Cuban with Sicilian. We do have a couple other things too, but mostly it's Cuban and Sicilian. Even the people that are from Sicily and Italy in my family also have mixed of Cuban blood. Mm-hmm. So the Cuban is strong. Mm-hmm. No, we're not into Castro. He's dead, by the way. Those who don't know, and those who do not know, Cuba is the largest island in the Caribbean. Thank you. Applause. No, because there's people that will ask you, oh, is it Puerto Rico? Because no, we have a reverse flag, and shout out to the Ricans. I hear there's a lot of trouble happening in Puerto Rico right now.
Unfortunately, yeah.
My heart goes out to you. Hope everything is able to get solved. There's a lot of things happening in the world today.
Too much.
Also, I want to send a shout out to my friend Evelyn Burke. She's going through some shit right now. Evelyn, my heart goes out to you. I hope everything solves itself. Sending you positive vibes, mama. Call me whenever. Pretty much, I've always been into combat sports. My whole family was always into combat sports on both sides. My training is pretty much in kickboxing and boxing, because I know there's a lot of rumors out there, people claiming that, I'm into wrestling. No, I've always liked wrestling. I have a cousin that was like a big thing, and, we used to wrestle each other as kids. And yes, I am friends with wrestlers, and also friends with kickboxers and boxers now, and that kind of thing, and people in other aspects of, the entertainment business right now, which is pretty cool in itself.
Right.
But basically, that was my training. And at the time that I was training, women were not doing it professionally. So due to all the training, you have to get it out. I basically did a lot of underground fighting, and that's how I paid for college and my rent at the time. It was a lot of fun. It could be very stressful.
Yeah. Now,
get hurt, which I didn't.
Right, but when you say underground fighting, that's something along the lines like the movie Fight Club?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes, along those lines.
Can't talk about it.
And it's like different things. Like somebody will tell you, this person wants to settle a score with this other person, and they need you to be the fighter. Okay, no problem. You set the time limit that you're going to do it. You set the price, and you do what you got to do. You either have like a gym that you set aside, and you do the fighting in the ring there, or they would set up like mats and stuff, and you do your boxing and your kickboxing there. But basically that's what it was: kickboxing and boxing. Yes, I do have experience in grappling, jiu-jitsu style.
Nice.
Shout out to the Gracie family in Brazil. They're the
Nice.
best when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's basically it. Because once again, like I said, there's a lot of rumors out there. Oh, want to be wrestler? No, I'm a kickboxer and boxer. And the way that I was trained by the person that I was trained,
Yeah.
I try to knock you out within a 2-minute time span. That's my goal.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot do wrestling because wrestling is choreographed. And my mindset when I'm doing my combos,
Mm-hmm.
I'm out to knock you out.
Right.
I'm not out to do a special move so it can look good to the audience. No, I'm out to knock you out. That's the mindset.
That's two different worlds, regardless. And,
Two different worlds.
right.
And also because there's a lot of talk. I'm 45. I don't look 45. No one in my family looks their age. We all have very good genes. Just want to throw that out there. We don't need makeup even. I come from a full line of where the men and the women are gorgeous. You can take a look at my profile. You'll see that all my family members are gorgeous. I even have some cousins that are professional models.
Wow.
Yes, I'm throwing it out there, not giving names. Figure it out on your own. I have cousins that are baseball players.
Mm-hmm.
Cousins that are musicians. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk later.
Throwing that out there, too, for the haters.
Yeah, we'll talk later.
Toma. Toma.
So,
I'm
yeah.
genuinely a very nice person, as you know.
Yes.
Okay? You push my buttons, yes, you'll see an evil side to me. But other than that, I'm pretty nice, and I try to help out people any way I can. Even if I'm not, super friendly with the person, if there's a situation where I could help the person out, I go ahead and I help them. Once again, because there's a lot of rumors that I'm like this evil devil creature. Yeah, if that's the way you see me, then, keep seeing me that way. Doesn't bother me. I wipe my nalgas with whatever is said.
I mean,
but anyway,
we all get into situations where people say one thing about you. Even your neighbors can find something that they don't like about you. Your house is too bright, or you have more windows than they do. You have solar power, they don't. It's always petty stuff. And like me growing up back in D-Day, before child services was a thing, in the high school schoolyard, in the gymnasium, hell, even the locker rooms, we will settle. And it was the old-fashioned way, but of course,
it's not like that anymore.
No,
and everybody's
far
like super PC.
Right.
Everybody likes to hide behind the screen, typing away.
Mm-hmm.
They type this, they type that about you, but then when you tell them, come to my cara, face to face, say what you got to say, all of a sudden, crickets.
Right. And
all you hear is crickets.
Yeah, and in all fairness, there's always two sides of a story. And
three.
Okay,
there's
three.
Always three.
Three? Yours, theirs, and the truth?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Oh, I don't know. We're going to say facts and truths. We're going to say it,
You're right. Well, of course.
It has to.
Right. And stories that are shared can be filled with facts, of course, even though the other side could be in denial or just ignore it, or just, it's like, no, I never said that. No, I never did this. But, of course, we live in the age of technology, and everything's shared or passed around through social media. And it's there, and
and you would be surprised, Mike, that even though, let's say, something happens and you put the evidence out there, you still have the people that, unfortunately, I guess they're, they can't read or write very well, so they can't read what's in front of them. And it happens.
And it's been proof.
Unfortunate, but it happens.
Right, and there's been proof of this even in the sports world and in the Hollywood world. Actors and actresses, they get caught up with all this nonsense. They try to stage certain things. They try to prove that it wasn't them. It was, oh no, my cousin hacked into my account and pretended to be me, kind of thing. It's more of a world. We live in the world where they want to know more about you, but they don't at the same time. But just in case they have that fact, so whenever they want to pull out of their back pocket and say, oh, I'll play this card. Remember, I found this out about you. I just didn't want to use it now because all of a sudden you're talking smack about me. So, So, yeah, it's just real petty stuff. Me personally, I try to avoid it as best as possible. If I can settle it verbally over the phone, before the law or the lawyers get involved, and that's already taken it to the extreme, then...
No, and you always have that person, that lies, and then it's like when they start to lie, another person, like, for instance, you could say, oh, I was standing in the corner over there having a bag of Doritos, and she just came and she took my Doritos, and then she spit in the bag. Then you'll have another person that hears the story, and without even knowing, you'll be like, oh, yeah, I was standing there drinking, a Budweiser, and she took my Budweiser and just ran off with it.
Right.
And then she kicked me in the face before running off. No.
Right.
No. No.
And that's a lesson you can teach your children. Were you there? Did you see it? Did you hear it? Well, no.
Where's the proof?
Right. Well, my friend told me.
Proof?
Okay, but that's when your friend wants you to take their side, so that way, in case their knees buckle, you step in. Well, I witnessed it. Well, no, you didn't. You're going on. You're going by word of mouth. And unfortunately, that also can be a powerful tool.
And speaking, jumping right into word of mouth. Okay. Since I'm 45, though I could still fight anybody when needed. Like somebody asked me, hey, get in the ring. There's a there's a boxing match. There's a kickboxing match. We need a female. I could definitely do it. Train 5 days a week for 2 hours and 30 minutes doing pure cardio, and then I take another hour out of my time to do 30 minutes of weights, 30 minutes of abs. So I'm in tip-top shape. Unlike some people that they haven't stepped into the gym in over 100 years. But we'll leave that at that. So at any rate, with that being said, there's other skills that I have.
Yeah.
And one of them is that I happen to be very good at using my verbiage and hashtags for advertising.
Oh.
It's a skill that I picked up at FIT while I was also studying photography. And if you need to know my educational background, before FIT, I went to John Jay College of Criminal Justice because I was thinking of going into law enforcement. My first thing that I had on mind was either to be an FBI agent or CIA agent, but I changed my mind. Then I thought about becoming a cop, and I even did some undercover security work at one point. Even did a little bit of bodyguarding at one point. But then, it really wasn't for me. It wasn't really doing anything that I needed. It wasn't anything, that really excited me because I get bored quite easily. No, I get bored quite easily. So I, decided to go into photography. My niche at the time was jewelry photography. I did do a little bit of, like headshots for people and things like that on the side, artistic photography. I did a little bit of everything. And while doing that too, that's when I was doing my underground fighting too because, listen, I was living in Manhattan. You got to pay bills, right?
Oh, yeah.
You got to pay bills. But, like I said, advertising. Now we live in a different world where everything is through social media. So how do you get word out? You use hashtags. You use the hashtags. And I had a little situation not so long ago because there were two words that I was using that are very popular in today's culture. But if you have been living under a rock for 100 years or so, you won't know what these words are. Because once again, you have to be involved with today's culture. And one of the words, was the word pimp mama. Oh, what does that mean? Does that mean that the person has some people in Huts Point and they're selling them? No, it does not. If you listen to rap music, especially someone like Snoop Dogg, you will notice that the words that they use to refer to women nowadays are hoes, tricks, bitches, tots. So in order to rise up from that, I was watching Empire, a very popular show on Fox TV, where the lead character happens to be Cookie Lyons. And Cookie Lyons, if you see Cookie Lyons, she is a badass woman. She's a boss lady. What is she? She's a pimp mama, because she knows how to handle her business. So part of my advertising strategy at the time, I used that word for about a month, and it was all right, but it wasn't really doing the that I needed. So then what's another popular word that's out there nowadays in the fashion world for anybody that's very glamorous when they dress or carry themselves? Glam mama. Ooh, there's nothing wrong with that word because there's glam mamas, glam girls, glam fashion, glam fabulous. What does glam mama mean? It means a glamorous mother. It's not insulting to women at in any way or any form. I should know I'm a woman myself. But unfortunately, you'll have people that are naysayers, people that have issues with everything. instead of focusing on themselves and trying to make themselves look better in every way possible.
Right.
So you're going to have negative feedback. Um, Same thing happens to like people like Madonna and Cardi B when they're doing something positive or they're doing something that is taking attention and making a buzz. You're always going to have that one select group of people that are going to be, you know, oh, this is horrible what she's doing. Oh, yo, get off your high horse. Learn a little bit about the culture that's around you and embrace it.
Right.
Nothing wrong with the words. Once again, nothing wrong with them. And I'm going to continue using the word glam mama because there's nothing wrong with it. And if there's people that have an issue with it, vaya, eso no es mi problema.
It's interesting because I have alumni of me or with me. Well, there's an alumni from the studios that I do my shows out of, and she recently had I guess a job offering to be a interviewer up in the Northeast, and she took it. Her brother's also in the same business, and just recently started using a little bit more and more makeup, like touch-ups, because she's naturally beautiful. I always thought she doesn't need the makeup, but recently, I guess trying out different things, experimenting, and I'm like, okay, little eyeliner, little eyeshadow, different color lipsticks to make her look more stand out. And while posting some of that pictures on her social media, she actually used the term glam. Like, I'm into this glam, she said.
There you go.
And I'm like, well, girl, I still feel you don't need it, but I see what you're talking about, and you do you, boo boo, and because it works, and she does look amazing. Because for a while, I heard of the term glam, and I wasn't always following Empire, but like, what glam? Okay, obviously it's short, and it has to be abbreviation for glamorous or something like that. Oh, sounds positive to me.
Right. Exactly. It's a very positive thing. You're looking glamorous. And people, let me tell you, you can look like a gremlin. You put a little bit of makeup on, woo! You're a glam mama. That's the way it works. That's what makeup is for. They even have contouring now where you could totally change your face. Look at the Kardashians. Use them as an example. Take a picture of Kim with no makeup on. Take a picture of her when she has the contouring makeup. What a difference. That's what makeup does, just learn how to use it. That's all I could say for some people. Learn how to use it. If you're feeling a little bit, like you're getting up there in age and age is catching up to you, go to the surgeon. That's what Botox is for.
I mean, I can...
wrinkle prevention.
I can only be depressed so much where I got to start using makeup, but...
Listen, man, use it now, too.
I mean...
There's nothing wrong with it.
No, not at all.
There's nothing wrong with it.
I mean, I think I want to give it, the bucket of ice cream first to try with some, I don't know, cookie dough or something, and make that into a shake before I try like an eyeliner.
And don't think that just because a guy uses a little bit of makeup that makes him a drag queen or anything.
No.
By the way, there's a lot of drag queens that we got to give credit to because they actually go the extra mile to really look like a glamorous female.
Yeah.
Look at the actors in Pose. Like, oh my God, you got to do a double take. Like, wow, like they really go the extra mile. And then there's some that no matter what they do to themselves, they still look, I don't know. I don't want to hate on anybody, but
no. I was gonna say,
what is that?
Even in pro wrestling, go down to Mexico, especially, they have these wrestlers who opened either that they're transgenders or homosexuals, but they choose. Not so much because it's their character, quote unquote, but that's who they are in life, that they do dress in drag and they wrestle that way. And
and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No. There's
I'm a very open-minded person. I always have been. I'm very accepting of the world around me.
Right.
Maybe that's the problem.
Right.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm too accepting of everything. So, people, they try to be, negative towards that.
Right.
And I'm a very open person, Anything that I've done before I had my child, with, yes, I do have a 6-year-old child who happens to be taking jiu-jitsu, Gracie Barra jiu-jitsu. That's right.
Wasting no time.
Because, I come from a family where, once again, we're fighters, combat sports. All women should learn combat sports to protect themselves out there. Throw that in there.
There's just way too much stuff going on out there. Women get mugged or worse, going home just stepping into the apartments and something happens. I mean, sure, yeah, it's great to have surveillance cameras, but that's not going to take away the trauma you just went through, you know.
That's why growing up through New York, you know, I had to learn. That's not only to mention the fact that, you know, my father, may he rest in peace, was a jeweler. So you always have to have that whole thing where it's like you got to look behind you at every given moment because, hey, this person knows that your old man's a jeweler. They know that there's diamonds and things in your house. They're going to try to find a way to bum rush you in order to get into your house.
Right.
So you have to be alert 24/7.
Right.
That's what was ingrained in me since I was a kid. That's the way, and it hasn't gone away. That's the way it is. You know.
Right. And that's not to say, you know, live in fear or anything like that.
Yeah, no, nothing like that. You just got to be. It has nothing. You know, I'm not scared of anybody or anything. That's something that people should understand. Nobody in my family is. We're not like that. And as far as, you know, being negative or being positive, because, you know, with this backlash of the words that I use, you know, I had people going onto my page, you know, making up stories about, oh, I went to the page and it was so horrible and it was so negative. You've been to my page. I don't have anything negative on my page. If anything, my page is super positive. I come from a very spiritual family.
Right.
You know, we believe in giving positive energy to people because there's a lot of people that, you know, have a lot of things going on in their lives and they need like somebody to give them a little bit of advice or a little bit of something positive so that they can, you know, have a smile on their face. And everybody will tell you, you know, I do a lot of jokes. Yeah, some of my jokes could be a little raunchy. Hey, I'm not going to hide who I am, you know, just to please somebody. But I try to go out of my way. You know, if I, you know, if somebody tells me, oh, you know, so-and-so is not feeling too good, they're under the weather, they're a little bit depressed, I go out of my way to, like, put a smile on the person's face. That's the way I've always been.
Right.
And going back to that, if I find out that somebody has a situation where they don't have a job at the moment or something, and I know of somebody because I network with people, you know, I talk to people, that's something I do. I'll, you know, ask around, hey, do you got a job? Do you got a job? This person needs some extra cash. And I try to hook up the person, even if it's not someone that I'm tight with.
Right.
You know, that's the way it is.
Right.
And you know, just one hand washes the other.
Right. And just to give an example, you know, this week, matter of fact, I in my personal life had experienced a loss, and it came out of nowhere. You know, we're chatting and I'm multitasking, you know, browsing on the internet, I'm watching the news, and father came over and announced that, you know, my godfather passed away.
Yeah, and I you know, I gave you my condolences for that. I saw
that. Yeah, you reached out, you know, not through social media, but personally, you reached out and said said a lot of nice things to me to make me feel better, and shared, you know, something from your personal life as well that's personal to you, and you know, just made me smile. Made me feel a little better. It kind of for a moment, it took away from what was happening, because even though it was for that one moment, and you know, you took time out of your day because you can be busy as well. You work, you go to the gym, you play mom, and
yeah, you know, now I, you know, now my social life is a little bit more popping, you know, because I have a lot going on now, more than I did before.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, I'll say it here. You know, thank you for that. I appreciate it. And you didn't have to, but it was definitely.
It's in my nature. It's what people do.
Yeah.
You know, it's my nature. It's what people do. You know, one of the things that, you know, I always say to people when, you know, something's going on, you know, I give you my positive vibe. I'll give you some ache. And for those that don't know what the word ache is, the word ache, it means positive vibe. It's a word that's used in the Cuban culture. A lot of Puerto Ricans use it too. Okay, it comes from a Yoruba word, and those that do not know what Yoruba is, it's a language it's one of the many languages that are spoken in Nigeria. Educate yourself. Okay, and that's what it means, positive vibe.
Right.
You know, and if you don't have anything positive to say about somebody's situation, then just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, I think that's preferred. I think that's more preferred, especially if you've been out of contact with some people for quite some time. Something tragic happens to someone else, or something bad, or they're going through some rough times. Then, you know, okay, well, you've been out of my life for X amount of time. then you feel like saying something that's not so nice or doesn't help the situation, then you should have kept quiet. You should have just left me out of your life.
Yeah, yeah. And unfortunately, not everybody does that.
No.
You know, not everybody does that. But that's that's just the way it goes.
Right. So.
A couple years ago, I had a friend that we weren't like super close, like white on rice type of thing. But we knew each other. We knew each other since we were 14 or whatever. He had some rough times. He had something that occurred to him, and he didn't have a roof over his head. And now, despite the fact that I wasn't hanging with him 24/7, when word got back to me of his situation, the first thing that occurred to my mind is like, hey, there's all these people around him that that he like works with and hangs out with on a daily basis. How come not one of them has reached out to him and said to him, yo, I have a couch. Yo, I have an extra room. Yo, there's the floor with a sleeping bag. Yeah. Not one single person. And that kind of like irritated me. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a couch. Everybody has a freaking couch.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out of my way to like tell him, hey, look, I got a couch. You could chill in my house, until you get back on your feet, whatever. And that just goes to show you that I am not a horrible person,
No.
If I'm willing to bring somebody into my house that, I haven't seen in a long time because they're having a situation, then obviously, I must have a good heart. There's a little piece of me that must be good, I
mean, I've seen some of your workout training techniques that you put on your social media pages. You can look intimidating. But that has nothing to do with, that's nothing to do with, you trying to help people out. I mean, that's like the Incredible Hulk trying to buy a little girl an ice cream cone or something. Ice cream. Hulk, no wallet. Take ice cream. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely do have an intimidating look. Mm-hmm. I definitely do. But like I said, I try to make people happy, Mm-hmm. You can't make everybody happy. You could try. Yeah. All you could do is try. But like I said, I like to talk to different people. I've met a lot of people, and a lot of the new people that I've been meeting, I gotta thank Jean for, because she's a networker too. Yeah. And being that she's so nice to everybody, right. That's how everybody gets to know everybody.
Right. Yeah, Jean. Yeah, she's an amazing person, and
yeah, she's super cool, super chill. And there goes to show you, looks can be deceiving. Right. People might see that she looks a certain way and start, talking, talking trash.
She'll put you to sleep right away.
It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. But through my whole thing of, using hashtags,
yeah.
Okay, there's been like a lot of buzz. A lot of people have been coming up to me and asking me to also get the word out for their product or their event.
Right.
So it's not just, the original Glow Girls or the original Glow Girl cruise that's been asking me to do things. Other people have been asking me too. And once again, since we have haters, I don't want to give too many details, but I will say that there is a particular company that reached out to me personally mm-hmm. so that I could do a little campaign for them for the next 6 months, and I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. And once again, why is that? Because of the fact that I use hashtags, I network with people, and it gets out there. And once again, people see this, and you're going to have the people that are hating, and they don't like that. They don't like that there's a buzz being created.
Right.
Hey, get people on your side to use hashtags too, and get you out there. Mm-hmm. That's what the internet is for. Doesn't matter if you're 15 or you're 100. Everybody knows how to use the internet now. Hashtags is the way to go. The correct verbiage.
Right.
Links for everything. That's how it's done. And you just don't use Facebook. You use everything else. You use Twitter. You use Instagram. You use Pinterest. You use Tumblr. And I have to tell you that in the very beginning, before I started on this journey, I rarely went on Facebook to begin with. I rarely went on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest. And within like the past 2 months, I have to say that the numbers of followers and everything is growing to such a rapid pace that I like look at it on a daily basis. I'm like, oh my God, how did this happen?
Right.
So I can't be that bad of a person when, I have all these people, wanting to know a little bit more.
No, not at all. And like I said, you just like a helping hand, reach out to others that maybe they can't reach as much as they try. And like Hollywood does travel around the country, maybe one day even more so around the world, to share and promote their brand. But someone got to stay behind. Okay, well, while I'm out there doing this, you do the same thing over here and spread the word, and see how that works out and how that can generate more people to get behind our product, our marketing, so to speak. And like you said,
exactly, and that's pretty much all that I've been doing, for Jean, April, and Cheryl, and now Carmen. That she's going on the cruise. We also have a couple of the other girls that are going on the cruise. Noelle, that she used to play Major Tanya. We have also the girl that Helena, that used to play Daisy. She's coming on the cruise too, and that's another thing too that I've been helping out with. With doing like a little ad for the cruise. OriginalGlowGirls.com. You can get your cruise tickets there. There's still a couple cabins available. They're going to be doing 7 days in the Mexican Riviera. They got lots of events and things that they're planning. Get on the website, check it out. And if you feel that the cabin is a little bit too pricey for you, it could be split in two if you have another person coming with you. I personally have a cabin for myself because I like to. What if we take it? But anyways.
Yeah, you're probably gonna check in a punching bag or something.
I'm always freaking hot, since I was a baby. I'm always hot. It could be -0 all the time. Like, oh my God, it's boiling in here.
Right.
That's just me. But it's because I have a lot of energy. I'm always jumping around.
Right. Hence why you're checking in that punching bag at customs, and you gotta have one.
Exactly. Along with my brass knuckles and my nunchucks, I gotta check them in.
Right.
I gotta check them in. Yeah. There was also a little bit of controversy with my name. My name is Oyanka. That's if you got a problem with that name, take it up with my dead parents. They're the ones who gave it to me. It means new path. It's not a name that I made up or anything. That's what the name means. My last name is Collazo. My name is what's called a Spanish Euro name because it's a mixture of an Italian name, because my name used to have an extra Z in it. It was taken off when my great-grandfather came through Ellis Island. That's the way it goes.
Wow.
I haven't changed my name because there was a rumor that I changed. I haven't changed my name. You want to know my family names? I'll be so nice to even tell you what my family names are. It's Collazo, Cancio, okay, Cicciarello, all right, Gervasi, Nuzzo, Fidele, Manino. Those are the last names in my family. Echevarria, Herrera, Hernandez, okay?
Sounds
Silva.
like
Those are some of the names in my family. And the best last name of all, from my grandfather, may he rest in peace, Hing, Andre Hing. Very well known in certain circles, my grandfather. Okay?
Sounds like a sequel for Goodfellas.
Yeah, exactly. As a matter of fact, where you live in Tampa.
Yeah.
My grandfather was extremely popular in Tampa because he happened to be the owner of a store called Botanica Olocum.
Ah.
Okay, my grandfather passed away 5 years ago. So obviously that Botanica is there no longer. There's a lot of people in the entertainment industry that used to go to my grandfather for readings. Okay? I'm not going to say a name, but there's a very popular salsa singer that she also used to be a very popular freestyle singer. She used to go to my grandfather all the time. She even gave my grandfather a shout out in one of her CDs.
Nice.
And that's why, out of all the botanicas that are out there in Tampa, the only one that I would say is up to the same caliber as my grandfather's is the one that I plugged in your show the other day. All right? Botanica Ochung, that's also right in the center of Tampa.
Right.
Okay? Very good location, very good store. They have a lot of products, good pricing, plug that in there.
Now, you mentioned before about the controversy of your name, whether you use your first name last or your last name first or whatnot on social media. Does anyone else? I mean, and I had this happen too to a bunch of other friends that were trying to show off as, as a fan page. They'll use the name of the person that they're admiring as, say a boxer, wrestler, movie star. So they'll say Clint Eastwood, for example, just example. And in parentheses or in the description, it'll say this is only a fan page, not the official site of so and so. You can show your thoughts, your memories, or whatever, and comment below and blah blah blah. So in other words, and people pretend to be other people. Like how many wrestlers?
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
And I never did that. Originally on my Facebook page, I had Oyanka, one name only needed. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, Facebook did a crackdown where it's like you can't have that. So then I was like, all right, well, I like to just use my first name for everything. Madonna uses her first name. Mm-hmm. Cher. Beyonce now just uses Beyonce. Why the hell can I just use Oyanka?
Right.
I don't need a last name for that. So I had Oyanka, because you got to put in a second name. Mm-hmm. And then, there's a hater that decided that, when all this buzz started, that they would, go full blast and try to block my Facebook page, being that it's one of the methods that I use for advertisement. Mm-hmm. Hey, I solved that problem real quick, and normally it takes 2 weeks for that problem to be solved. I solved it within 4 hours.
Yeah.
I'm a person of action. Mm-hmm. I don't sit down, there, with my thumb in my butt,
Right.
I do what I got to do. Then there was something where all of a sudden, for whatever reason, haters once again, I was doing a couple plugs. As a matter of fact, I was doing some plugs for soap. Mm-hmm. And I had my friend James helping me along. We were doing a little comedy routine that we've been doing lately where it's like, we throw out little words and things and we do like a whole big comedy routine. And then as we're doing our comedy routine, we're like, and now here's a word from our sponsors. And we do our little ad. And we had somebody that, was upset that soaps were being plugged. And they tried to shut down my Facebook, but could not. So then they went for the messenger. Mm-hmm. That's why texting was invented and emailing. I got my messenger back. Recently, they tried to hack into my Spotify. What are you going to do with my playlist?
Wow. Probably replace them with music with subliminal messages or something,
yeah.
But
really? I'm serious. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with my music? Okay, you're gonna hack into my music? Yeah, enjoy yourself. All you're gonna see is a lot of Madonna, a lot of Celia, whatever.
Yeah, replace that with some Menudo.
DC, maybe some audio slave. Knock yourself out, whatever.
Some Backstreet Boys, Menudo.
I listened to a little bit of everything. I think I even had on that playlist, I might have had some Gloria Estefan, maybe I had some Cardi B, some Little Kim, some Tupac, but it's like, seriously, why are you trying to hack into my playlist? What are you...
Put in some Debbie Gibson or Tiffany or New Kids on the Block. Yeah, that'll teach you. Hanging tough.
I'll throw some TKA your way. Some Coro.
Hell yeah, some freestyle school. Shoot. Lisa?
Lisa, she's got some good jams still.
Hell yeah.
Or Judy Torres for that matter. Or Sapphire, or
Paula Abdul before American Idol. So yeah, got some good stuff there. I mean, me personally, I don't know the entire story, but going on what you're sharing here,
it's you know what, the entire story is not even worth it, because the more that I sit back and reflect on the whole situation, it's like when you got nothing going on and you see other people got something going on, you gotta create a stir, and that's pretty much what's been occurring, So
right.
That's it. I give props to people that don't deserve it,
Yeah, I mean, I've had some downtime myself.
It's like this. It's like, oh, this person is creating a buzz. This person, is doing a good thing by getting the word out. Let me cut them down. All right. Nice try. I'm up again.
Right, and like
I took the dust off my knees. I'm up again. Yeah.
Right.
Now what?
Yeah, I mean, I've had downtime myself. I kind of still do in a way, but I don't put it out there. And I can never turn around and say, oh, you never checked on me during this time. And in reality, I never said anything. So what would they know? How can they know of my issues or troubles and whatnot, when maybe realistically as well, they could have helped out or at least said something comforting to make me feel a little better and get through it much quicker and move on with life. But, in general, and we see it all the time with cyberbullying and that case just recently, I forgot the kid's name, and I'm sorry to say, but he was basically bullied into taking his own life. And now the one responsible is on trial, I believe even found guilty, if I'm not mistaken. And, it's just a matter of the power of words and how you use them, either for negative or positive, unfortunately.
And it's a very unfortunate thing that's happening, too, with the youth today. And it's not just the youth. As you can see, it happens in adults, too.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is, unless you have somebody that reaches out to you and talks to you and tries to, trying to show you the positive side of the situation, if you have a lot going on and you're not mentally stable, unfortunately what's going to happen is you're going to take your own life. We see it time and time again. Right. Oh, yeah, and speaking of mentally unstable, let's throw that in there. I do not have any mental issues whatsoever. I never had. But due to the fact that while I was in John Jay, I studied forensic psychology, one thing that I will throw out there is that I've always noticed time and time again, when someone does not have any mental issues and they speak their mind, always the people that do have some form of a mental issue will try to say, to kind of like deflect what's going on with them. Oh, this person is this and this person has that. I don't have anything.
Right.
Okay, the only medication I take is my thyroid medication, sweeties. That is it. Oyanka's got nothing going on with her health-wise. That is it. Maybe a couple of allergies here and there. That's what Flonase is for, and Benadryl. That's it. That's it.
And you don't use any special supplements, let's say, when you go to your gym and stay in shape?
No. I take a multivitamin, Centrum, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
and that's it. That is it. That's it. And then there was also commentaries about what I do in the bedroom and whatnot. First of all, who I climb on or don't climb on is nobody's business. But if you must know, my name is O, and you always get an O. So I'll leave that at that. But seriously, with all the people saying that I've been climbing on, you would think that I'm like an expert mountain climber or something. Maybe that should be my new hobby, climbing mountains.
If that's the case, you should be yodeling by now.
I know, right?
And then just plant a flag somewhere every time you're done.
I will throw out there that I am a super flirt. I do flirt with everybody. Just because I flirt with everybody doesn't mean the leg needs to become open.
No, and there are those that flirt like you, and there are others that flirt beyond, intentionally trying to get attention, and even quote dress the part, because words aren't enough to flirt, but you gotta show more skin than you need to. I came across a woman like that last year, who I've seen before here and there in these meet and greets when you go to these Q&As with pro wrestlers in New York. And I guess she's a regular. But anyway, see her one time, okay, whatever. I'm speaking to Rikishi, trying to get his autograph, trying to take a picture with him. And, we're conversating because I met a lot of his relatives down here. So we're trying to, reminisce a little bit. All of a sudden, this same woman just interrupts, doesn't say excuse me, doesn't say pardon me, just walks right in, conversates with him, and leaves.
She gives you guys a tetazo while she's there talking.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the hell? Okay, so you know what? Never mind. Can I get your autograph, please? Thank you very much. Have a nice day. And a few months later, she just try to walk up to me and, hey, sweetie, how you doing? And I'm looking at her like, really? No. First impressions are the most important ones, lady. And then had the nerve to try to send me a friend request on social media. I said, ignore. No, thank you. No, thank you.
She was sending you some booby shots.
You know what? Even with that, I'd be like, well, hey, maybe screen saver this, but no, I won't be your friend.
That's you know what? That's another good subject to go into. And this goes for everybody that uses social media. Listen, just because somebody says raunchy jokes and they happen to
Yeah.
be very open-minded doesn't mean that the first thing they want to do when they wake up in the morning is see a picture of your sausage, okay, or your melons. That's not.
Yeah.
No.
You know.
First have a conversation with the person, back and forth, and then, kindly ask, would you like to see my sausage? Would you like to see my melons? Don't just like put it out there, because I'm looking at them like, yeah, what is this?
Right. And if
It's a collection.
and if you want, you could have,
collection.
yeah. And if you wanted, you could have just cut them off right there and there, and
Exactly.
just avoid that
Like
because
if I wanted to see your meat stick, I would tell you, send me a picture of your meat stick. I would be very direct.
yeah. Why?
All right? If I want to see a picture of your melons, send me a picture of your melons and your coconuts. That's it.
Yeah.
But if
Why
I
beat
didn't
around the
say that
bush?
to you, then why send it?
Yeah. Why beat around the bush? No pun intended. But just like, just get to the point. What is he trying to ask me? What is it that you want from me? From a personal level, and even if the intention is there to share between a man and a woman in this case, you don't know what the other person is going to do with that information of yours.
Well, no. Let me tell you that I had maybe like a couple weeks ago an influx of all of a sudden people were sending me instant messages.
Yeah.
And they weren't even friends, but they were instant messages. And instead of a hi or whatever, all of a sudden you would see that it had a picture attached. All right, so I open it up. Whoa. I don't know you. Why you send it? Hello.
Yeah.
And then I found out what it is. I found out what it was. Once again, haters trying to be haters. Apparently my name had been put in a database so that certain types of people could send me their sausage pics.
That's classic.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's classy. It's classy. It's very classy. You're dealing with freaking, trashy individuals. That's what you get. But and I looked at it like I didn't get upset about it. Instead, if you remember, I put a post that said, "Hey, if you're gonna send me pictures of your, make sure that it's 10 inches or more."
Hey.
Because I don't want to look at no itty bitty.
Short man.
Exactly. And then it didn't stop there.
Right.
Okay, because then it wasn't just the dude sending the meat stick. Then there was some chick sending like some, I don't know what those were, because you could iron a board on them. They're like an ironing board. Sorry, you could iron your clothes on them. That's how tiny these things were. I'm like, what is this? Why are you even like? Have you seen mine? Okay, because it's kind of hard not to see them. They're like they're very visible. So if I have that,
yeah.
You can't send me what you're sending me because I'm just gonna laugh at you.
Now, for the record, you're single?
I am.
Okay.
I am. I'm not married. I'm single. I'm not dating anybody right now. I have a lot of people I'm talking to, but no.
And even with all this going on with your promoting and advertising and your work, you do have a job. You do work one of those 9 to 5 jobs.
I do have a 9 to 5 gig aside from other gigs that I have going on. So it's very difficult for me to have any kind of personal relationship to begin with.
That was my next question. Yeah.
Because I'm busy. Plus I have a kid too. So it's difficult. Like I might get a chance where I might go maybe on a dinner date or something, but it is very difficult. And personally, I'm not really looking for anybody right now. My life is a little bit too chaotic right now for me to bring somebody else into it.
Right. And
so I'm all about knowing people, getting to know people, making lots of friends, and it is what it is.
Right.
Maybe somewhere down the line, like, oh, all right, this person has been super nice, so maybe I'll give them a shot.
Right. I mean, at least if you reach that point, at least you could say that you tried, and not even the next person cannot take that away from you, because like you've been describing this whole time for nearly an hour, everything you've gone through, and well, I meant that in the nicest way. Everything you've gone through and things that are going on.
You're like sangana.
Yeah. No, but but despite all the hating that's going on, all the sidetracks, all the nonsense, you know what? I got my life to live. I got bills to pay. I have a child to look after.
See, not for nothing, but you know what? I don't feel that I'm being degraded in any way. If anything, you're kind of making me a little bit more of a buzz.
Yeah.
along with the friend that you were trying to degrade. You're kind of giving us more of a buzz. So thank you.
Right.
Because now we're more popular than we were 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
I saw that too. The numbers, or at least the engagements, as they call them, have gone up.
Yeah.
And it's there in black and white.
They're in black and white. You are correct.
So
and once again, none of the buzzwords that I've used in my hashtags are, negative towards women or any social group whatsoever. They're actually very positive words. Once again, go out there, learn what the word glam means. Okay, all right.
Right.
That's all I can say about that.
Right.
And as far as the word pimp mama, I gave the reason why it was used. It hasn't been used since like May. So get over it.
Right.
Get a life. Do something with yourself. Take up knitting. Take up crocheting. Maybe painting. I don't know.
Watch the grass grow. Something. Just pass the time.
Exactly.
And,
or something. Shave your mustache hairs. I don't know.
I've got sensitive skin, but I go straight for the Brazilian myself.
If you got sensitive skin and you want to keep it moisturized, you can buy Hollywood soaps. You can go onto her website, gmbassones.com, and go to her merch page, and you can buy her soaps from there.
Well, there you go, plug. You're welcome, Hollywood.
Yeah, you're welcome. No, but in all seriousness, her soaps are very moisturizing. She does have, that goat's milk. Yeah. And it works good. She has a charcoal one that works pretty. They're all pretty good because, she doesn't use any harsh chemicals or anything in the very. They are very soft, I have to tell you, because I always do moisturize my skin, and I do have very sensitive skin, and since I started using her soaps, I really don't need to put that much lotion on or anything.
Right. You just reminded me.
My skin is very soft.
Yeah, you just reminded me, and I keep forgetting to reach out to her personally. Do you know if she has or she's going to work on, I think they're called soap bombs. You just drop them in the water and they dissolve and it turns into a bubble bath?
It's a very messy thing to make.
Oh,
I have asked her about that.
Okay.
It's something that I have to push for her to try because, the what I got back was, no, that's messy. But I will try again. I will try again.
Yeah, because the concept itself, I thought was interesting when it first came out. And unfortunately, my home doesn't have a tub. It's all just standing showers. And I can't try it.
Need a bath bomb. So what's the purpose of you getting a bath bomb? What are you going to do? You're going to buy one of those inflatable pools and use that as your spa?
Well, if I can have not so many nosy neighbors, maybe. But, sometimes you just want to kick back and just soak in a little bit, or do that at the public pool and not see yourself get kicked out for life. But, it was an experience.
The same guy that came in here skinny dipping last week. Well, now he's putting bath bombs in the pool. What are we going to do about this? What's wrong with this guy?
Hey.
Oh, he's from New York. Oh, okay, that explains it.
But hey, one positive thing, people who went out that night had that nice smooth skin. There weren't complaints about that. And next thing you know, we had a bunch of bath bomb babies 6 months later. So, whatever.
You mean 9 months later?
Oh, 9 months later. I don't know what kind of freaks they got out there now having 6 month babies, but.
Man, 6 months. What kind of stuff? What is that?
Well, maybe she forgot to tell him, and that was
in 6 months.
She probably forgot to tell him, and 3 months later, bang, bada boom. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that.
You thought I was human, but I'm a chupacabra. Okay. What is this to hatch? It's a little chupacabra. Enjoy. It's yours.
Yeah, and it does what the name implies. Yes.
Yes, it's a chupacabra. It is a goat sucker. Yes, it is. Now you must sanitize your goat. But yes.
Yes. So many pet names we're giving out today. But going back a little bit to your boxing and kickboxing training, if that wasn't part of your life, was there any other kind of career options you would have thought of or tried to? And I know you mentioned you wanted to be in law enforcement and
yes,
Secret Service.
That was something that I considered for a long time. Mm-hmm. I also considered going into jewelry business because that was the business that was in my family. Mm-hmm. And once again, now, I mean, Listen, it's 2019. So many things have changed, that
Mm-hmm.
amazes me each and every day. But back when I was learning how to polish and how to engrave and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
because my dad had his own, he had his own little shop on 47th and whatnot, and so did all my uncles. Women really didn't do the jewelry business, which is kind of funny because now there's a lot of women jewelers.
Right.
And it was a business that if you specifically went on 47th Street out in Manhattan, it was pretty much run by people that are of Jewish descent.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of Cuban Jews, a lot of like Jewish Italians, a lot of Sephardic Jews, Syrian Jews, but mostly it was a very Jewish-run business. Now you have everybody. You have people that come from Pakistan, people that come from China, people that come from Russia. And like I said, there's a lot of women now, too, on 47th that are jewelers. And it was something that I wanted to do, too. But once again, it was like one of those things where it's like, oh, this is not really meant for a girl. You got to do something else. Girls, they're good at office work, blah, blah, blah. I took a course in doing trading.
Yeah.
To be a stockbroker. That wasn't my thing either, because I don't really like calling people up on the phone and doing that whole cold calling type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't my thing. I've tried many jobs. I'll tell you that. I've been a Jane of all trades. You name it, I've tried it at one point or another. I've tried that career. It wasn't my thing. Kept moving.
Yeah.
I even dabbled in doing computer tech work for a while, where I would go into people's offices, I would set up their equipment, I would set up their network, fix their servers, that kind of thing, pull apart the computer and fix the parts. And that's something that not only did I take a course for it and I got certified for it, but mainly my cousin Brad, may he rest in peace, he was a big computer tech. I mean, the guy was amazing,
Right.
what he did. And he taught me along the way a couple things. Because believe it or not, there's people that can't even open up the computer or the laptop to just change the memory on it. It's like, oh, there's screws there and stuff. It's the simplest thing ever.
Right. No, too complicated.
Yeah, right? It's too complicated. Taking off the lid and unscrewing the screws is too complicated for me. But no.
What do you mean turn the screws counterclockwise? What is that?
How do you do that? What's a screwdriver? What do you do with that? Do you drive it? So I pretty much have a lot of skills, believe it or not. And it amazes some people because they're like, oh, wow, you know how to do that too? Yeah. I'm a Jane of all trades.
Are there any other languages you can speak besides English and Spanish?
Yes. But the thing with all languages is you got to practice them. If you don't practice them and you don't have somebody to practice them with, you tend to forget them. I took several courses, and I took the Regents in French, and I also took it in Italian. But once again, if you don't have anybody to learn, to practice the languages with, whatever you've learned diminishes. Even with some of my Spanish, it's kind of diminishing because, my mother's not around, my grandmother's not around, and mostly all my cousins and everything, and my mother's cousins that, are around, they speak English. So you kind of like, all of a sudden, especially the ones in Florida, you start speaking Spanglish.
Right.
And after a while, you don't even know what word is what. Like the word tuna fish.
Yeah.
Here's the perfect example. I've always called it tuna fish. They'll tell you, oye, ábreme la lata ahí de tuna fish. I had no idea that the correct word for tuna fish in Spanish was atún.
Yeah.
No clue. No clue. Speaking to somebody like, yeah, I really like that atún. I'm like, what the hell is that? Atún? What is that? Tuna fish. What are you talking about? It's tuna fish. What are you talking about? It's tuna fish.
Who is this Al Toon? Is he the chef?
Al Toon?
Is he the chef? He's the cook?
Is he a singer? So what does he sing? Sweet pea. Okay? Or peas, green peas.
Yeah.
The way that it's actually said in Cuba, it's actually the French word petit pois.
Excuse
because
you?
the French were the ones that brought it into Cuba. But in my household, green pea.
Yeah.
That's what they would call it, green pea. Oye, get a lata there of green pea. Green pea. Okay, green pea. Here, want some green pea in your salad?
Okay.
Once again.
Green pea. And what was the other one? What was the original word?
Green pea and tuna fish.
Tuna fish. See, if that was me walking in what I know into your home at that time, See, I would have been like, listen, you keep your safety words to yourself, whatever you do at late night with your significant other, but I just want a tuna sandwich with some lettuce and mayonnaise.
You keep your tuna fiche and your green tea to yourself. Here's another word that it took me like ages to figure out what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Once again, we live in New York, so we're like, yo, if you're going to the bank, you got to dress like a hippie. Because if you don't, you're going to get a jolope. There's going to be somebody walking down the street and they're going to give you a jolope.
Yeah.
And I'm like, a jolope? And I'm like, for years. It took me maybe like good, like I'm 45 now. It took me maybe like until I was like 38 to figure out what a jolope meant. They meant the word hold up.
Yeah, yeah.
The word hold up, that is what was pronounced as jolope. Be careful when you go to the bank and dress like a hippie because you'll get hold up.
Right.
All right? You'll be held up, actually, is the correct held up. But they use the word hold up because they would tell you, oh, this is a hold up.
Right.
So they used that word hold up and they turned it to jolope. Be careful because you're going to get a jolope. I'm like, pero who's this person going around giving people jolopes? And what the hell is a jolope?
What's wrong with these people? Go home and...
Lo and behold, it's a whole...
do your joloping at home and not on the streets. I'm trying to get some money.
You got yourself a hole up with some tuna fish and some green tea.
Or better yet, someone gives you a call. Ring, yeah, is Oyanka home? Yeah, jolope. Wait, what? Oh, in the background.
She's in the middle of stopping a jolope, so you gotta wait. Come back with some green tea and some tuna fish for her.
And mayonnaise because JM's coming over. So
and mayonnaise, put a little bit of mayonnaise on there.
Plus, you got to throw in, the accent as well. I remember growing up in New York, so many different accents, so many ways to speak Spanglish. It took me a while as well, maybe to my junior high school days, and it just took off from there. But you learn something new every day. And like every year, there's a new year for every grade you go up in, and you meet someone new, they could be literally from Europe and bring that Spanish from there to New York, mix it in with what you already know at that point in time. And it's like, whoa, slow down. What did you try to pronounce?
Well, no, that I've been teaching, I've been teaching a lot of people, like, a couple of Spanish words here and there. And I think the last time that we spoke, like I mentioned to you, we had mentioned to you that Hollywood, Lightning, and the Royal Hawaiian, they also have like Spanish ancestry and whatnot. But some of them know a couple words here and there, but they're not like super fluent, but they could carry on a conversation. So, I've been teaching them a couple words here and there. So it's kind of funny when they use the word, because then you're like listening to it and you're cracking the hell up, Be like, do you know what you're saying? You know what that word means? Okay, keep using it.
By the way,
spread the word.
Yeah, by the way, special shout out to Lightning. Today's her birthday, matter of fact. And
yes.
Before I got to the studios, before I got to the studios, I was able to send her out a message. So yeah, hopefully she has a good time today. And
well, she had a good time yesterday, so I'm sure she's having a good time today too. Hopefully she remembers to teleport my grape slushy to me.
Oh wow! Well, things happen. You forget the next day. Too much of a good time. If you even remember waking up in your bed, but these things happen. But Lightning, from what I know, from what I understand, she's a sweetheart. So, she's okay.
I've been waiting for this grape slushy for a while now.
Well, as long as you get it.
I think that's probably that's probably gonna be the first thing I'm gonna ask for, because they're doing a freaking meet and greet.
Yeah.
The day before the cruise, I think that's gonna be the first thing out of my mouth. Where's my grape slushy?
Oh my god.
I've been waiting for months now for this grape slushy. Did you drink it? Is it melted? Where is it?
It's expired. Sorry.
It's expired. It doesn't taste like grape anymore.
No.
It tastes like a raisin now.
So it tastes like tuna.
Raisin slushy.
Or tuna.
It tastes like caca now. Caca slushy. Oh God.
Well, doing your fighting training, did you ever try to go pro, or did something happen to prevent you from doing so?
That was the whole thing. There weren't any women doing it. And at the time that they were allowing women to do like the complete pro boxing and pro MMA stuff, I was past the age.
Oh.
And that's like, that really sucks.
Mm.
And I considered at one point, well, I could still try out. I just won't tell them my age. But once they get your paperwork, they're gonna know.
Yeah.
They'll be looking at you like, wait a second, but you look way younger than this. I get carded. When I buy liquor, I get carded.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, how old am I? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm 45. Yeah, throw that out there. 45, and I get carded. Okay. I get carded.
Right. Speaking of which,
and mind you, half of the time, because I told you I have very sensitive skin.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wear makeup when I have to, when I have to go to work. But most of the time, if I'm at home, I'm not wearing any makeup whatsoever, and I get carded. What does that tell you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, wonderful skin. Yes.
Yeah.
Refreshing, wonderful skin. Good DNA. Good DNA.
Right.
Yeah.
And with that said, how important is it for you to stay in shape the way you are? Because you look like you're waiting to be called up for your next fight.
Well, this is the thing, and I brought this up before. I have a thyroid issue.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm not in the gym
Mm-hmm.
a minimum of 4 days, a maximum of 5 days,
Mm-hmm.
I, tend to get a little lazy. And there's been times in my life, which, I will openly say, because, there's always going to be that one person who's going to be like, well, yes.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm not training and I'm not following the diet that I'm supposed to, I could be a roly-poly.
Mm-hmm.
No joke. But even though in those times that I've been a roly-poly, I still walked, I did everything, so I was a solid roly-poly.
Mm-hmm.
Not some flabby, roly-poly that, everything is jiggling. No, I was solid.
Yeah.
And then when I'm training hard, then, yes, my frame is rather, medium to thin. Mm-hmm. There was a time where I got so damn thin that I looked like a freaking crackhead, no joke.
Wow.
And while I was thin like that, I was like maybe weighing in at 132, but since I have, a very tiny body and I'm short,
mm-hmm.
I was wearing a size 4 in clothes.
Wow.
And I was so freaking tiny that I felt weak. Even though I was working out, I was still strong, but I felt so weak because I wasn't used to it. I'm used to like being like maybe like a 160 or 150,
mm-hmm.
Wearing a size 10 or a 12, and that's where I feel maximum power at.
Right.
I'm not used to being that bony.
So what does your regular workout routine look like?
It's like 30 minutes of pure running on the treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I get off of that, it's another pure 30 minutes on the elliptical.
Mm-hmm.
Get off of that, another 30 minutes of pure Stairmaster because, we got to get that Iris Chacon culo going. Hey, it worked for Iris, it'll work for me, it'll work for G.L.O.W, right?
Hey.
Hey. Everybody likes a nice culo, right? So, and then after that, I do 30 minutes of rowing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, we'll throw that in there. Yes, I am Cuban. You never know. I might have to roll, to Cuba to pick up some relatives or something. You never know. Maybe to fight a shark or two. I don't know. Like to do that. And then once done that, I take 30 minutes. So after I do the 2 hours and 30 minutes of cardio, I take the whole hour and I divide it into 30 minutes where I do some lightweight training and I do complete abs, crunchy sit-ups.
Right.
Thanks too, believe it or not.
Right. Yeah, they're different.
The wheel, I do all of that. The weight training is the only thing I have to say that I changed up a bit from when I was younger, from when I was like doing the underground fighting, because when I was doing the underground fighting, since I needed my arms and my legs to be as strong as possible, for impact reasons, I used to do a lot of heavy lifting. So I was very bulky in the top, and now my whole thing is I'm trying to like slim it down and tone it. So I'm doing less weights than I used to. Whereas before I used to like maybe bench press 250. Now I don't bench press.
Nice.
Now I do like the free weights and I don't even do like 50, which I used to do on each arm. Now I do like maybe like 25, maybe, or I bring it down a little bit to like 15 and I leave it at that, and I do more repetitions with my sets now because it's a lighter weight.
Right.
I'm not trying to, to get the Arnold Schwarzenegger arms, so they would be great. And through all this networking, I've managed to become friends with like, some professional bodybuilders too and fitness models, and pretty much the same thing. Unless you're really looking to bulk up, don't do heavy weights. They've all been telling me, And
Right.
so, I'm taking their advice on that. We discuss, how to get abs, because I am a huge fanatic when it comes to like super, super toned arms and abs.
Mm-hmm.
If I see somebody walking down the street and they have like super arms, I mean, like these great, totally like the biceps are like everywhere and the triceps are everywhere and the abs, I mean, like, woof, that the abs are popping. Like, I'll stop them and be like, oh my God, what's your workout routine? Because I love abs and arms. I don't care who they're on.
Mm-hmm.
That's like my thing. So, it takes a lot of work. Slowly but surely, I'm getting there.
Well, have you suffered any injuries while training?
Not really. I mean, not anything that, didn't get like swollen, and I use, because my thing is I like to use arnica and Tiger Balm for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There was one point though where I had like a little thing going on with one of my toes.
Mm.
It was like, they felt that it might be fractured, but it wasn't. It was just sprained.
Mm.
And that was like maybe like 10 years ago or so, but it's good. Like I said, I walk all the time. I mean, I used to purposely, when I lived in Queens, I would park my car 30 blocks away from my house, and I would walk on a daily basis to get my car and to come back.
Wow.
Who does that?
Right.
Me. And I would have people, oh, we're walking to your car? Yeah. When are we there? We're almost there yet? No. Keep walking. Walking is good for you.
Oh.
It's good for your cardiovascular training.
Hopefully the one in high heels.
And listen, well, no, that you can't. After like maybe 5 blocks, you got to take them off and either walk with wedges or sneakers or whatever. And let me tell you something, that when you get dressed up and you're getting dolled up, when you're getting glammed up to go somewhere, okay, and I have to put on my dress and I have to put on my heels, I usually carry the flats, and that's, I have the flats on and I have the heels, in a little bag or something. And then I put them on when I get to the place, because there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to like walk around with the heels or the wedges for the whole day, especially if I have to drive or walk.
Right.
Not everybody can do that. But working out, I mean, it's not for everybody. Though I do believe that with obesity being such a huge problem in our nation, and people getting diabetes and heart attacks and high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and all these things that are happening to people because they're overweight, I think that if everybody does at least a minimum of 30 minutes of light cardio, you don't have to run on the treadmill like I do for a whole 30 minutes, You don't have to do all the amount of cardio that I do for 2 hours and 30 minutes, 5 days a week. You don't have to do that. I do that because I like to have, my stamina to be at a certain level. As a matter of fact, because I do all that cardio, I could probably continually be jumping up and down, for like an hour or more without stopping. Not everybody could do that. Some people after 5 minutes, they're winded out.
Right.
But because I do that, my stamina, my energy levels, they're all very high. I'm quick.
Wow.
But as far as obesity goes, if you do 30 minutes, it could be 30 minutes of walking. It could be 30 minutes of doing the stationary bike or an actual bike. It could be even 30 minutes of some light rowing. If you do these things, maybe you can't do 30 minutes. Maybe your body doesn't allow you to do 30 minutes because maybe you're like obsessively overweight, like so overweight you can't bend down. And if that's the case, 15 to 20 minutes a day, it will help you. It will help your health. Your breathing will improve, among other things.
Right.
And that goes to everybody that's out there. Nobody's fat shaming you. I'm just saying, do a little bit of cardio. It's good for your health. Nobody likes to, bend over to grab a donut and all of a sudden have a heart attack.
Seriously.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
So with all that
swimming
said,
is also very good.
Yeah. So with all
Swimming
that
is
said,
also very good exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do to wind down? Just when you're home, just when you want to chillax and maybe call it a Netflix night or something, or Netflix and chill, as they say, the kids nowadays.
Yeah, Netflix. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was watching Netflix and chilling. All right.
Yeah.
I have a 6-year-old.
Right.
So there's no such thing as chilling out for the night, unless she's knocked out. So I have other things that I do to unwind. One of them is I like to drive around, or I like to walk. We have a lot of parks out here in Long Island.
Yeah.
So, I tend to walk around, take long walks, even in the heat, like a freaking psychopath. Because unfortunately, I like to walk. So it doesn't matter that I'm sweating to death like an animal. I'll still go and I'll take that walk. I do hobbies too. Like I recently took up this thing that's called etching, where it's like it has the design on it, and you got this little etching. It's like a little etching pen or knife, however you want to describe it. It's like a tool, is what it is, and you follow the lines, and it turns into like a particular color, and next thing you know, you have like this beautiful 8x10 of like a turtle, or a dolphin, or a monkey or whatever. It's very relaxing. It could be a little strenuous on the hand, so you got to take little breaks.
Yeah.
I also, because my kid likes to paint, I've taken up, discovering how to paint with like oils and acrylics. And I have a couple of relatives and some friends that are actual painters. So, like I would ask them for like tips on how to blend certain things, how to, I'm not saying I'm Picasso or anything like that because I'm not, but, I created a nice little image of, like a nice little desert. And it looked pretty cool. I also did one that was supposed to be like a waterfall, and it looked pretty cool. I did one of Jaws.
Nice.
It's not, like I said, it's not, it's not Picasso, but it's a pretty nice way to unwind. Photography used to be a way that I used to unwind. I just don't have the patience anymore for like looking at a particular scenery and going out there and taking the picture. But when I am online and I do see somebody that does take great pictures, I do make a point to like tell the person, hey, this picture is amazing. Here we go. John Albeda, he takes awesome freaking pictures. This guy, like the pictures that he takes of people, they look like they're like supermodels, And like I said, a little bit of makeup, you could wake up looking like a gremlin from the Gremlins. The guy, he puts makeup on you, he takes a picture of you, and oh my God, you're Cindy Crawford. So throw that in there. But basically, I've been doing a little bit of painting. I listen to a little bit of music. Once in a blue moon, I might enjoy a glass of Moscato.
There you go.
I'm not really, not really big into drinking. I don't do any of that stuff. If I am at a particular like dinner or party and there's frozen drinks, I might have one or two, but nothing too crazy.
Oh, so you have your limits?
Yeah, I have my limits. Nobody likes somebody that's like drunk and falling on the ground and peeing on themselves.
Oh, no.
It's not an R. Kelly party.
I think he has a little more problems to worry about than peeing in the corners right now. So.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll be all right. Maybe not. Who knows?
Come over here, let me pee on you. Yeah. My new hit song, Let Me Pee on You.
Jeez.
Available now on Spotify and on iTunes.
Oh my goodness.
And there's going to be people actually going to go look for that song on Spotify and iTunes.
Seriously, right? An exclusive.
Be like, it's called Let Me Pee on You. It's R. Kelly.
Oh my God. So what?
So any other questions you want to ask?
Before we wrap up, you mentioned before numerous times about the upcoming G.L.O.W cruise. You're going. It's in September.
I'm going.
What are you expecting as far as to do? Because they have a few events going on. There's a rap battle. I'm curious to see what kind of
battle. I'm not really into like the whole rap. Oh, speaking of G.L.O.W.
Yeah.
There was something circulating too that I had no idea what G.L.O.W is. I watch combat sports. Yes, I did watch G.L.O.W. So that person that made her little comment, I don't know where you're getting your info from, but educate yourself a little bit before you're gonna talk about other people. There's a rap battle. I'm not a rapper, so I won't be participating. I'll be watching.
Yeah.
Won't be participating in that. I will participating though in Royal Hawaiian's hula contest.
Yeah.
I do got to take a crash course on hula hooping.
Been a
That
while.
was not something that I used to do. It's been a while, and I was more of a pogo stick kind of person. You know, I like to hop on the pogo stick, and that there was that ball. I think what the ball was called. Where it was like a bouncy ball,
Yeah.
and it had a handle. One would sit on and bounce until you fell and cracked your head.
Ooh.
That was my thing more than the hula hoop. Every time that I tried to hula hoop, my cousin would try to choke me with the hula hoop. So
Jeez.
Yeah, Kathy, I know you're listening. I know you're listening.
It's a hell of a thing to wrap around someone's neck.
Yeah, no, my cousin Kathy, man, she's freaking crazy. I love her to death. She was the one that I would go to her house expecting to play Barbies or maybe do some kung fu. And what are we doing today? We're wrestling. What? What are you talking about? I'm Hulk Hogan. You'll be Roddy Piper. No. Before I could even say anything, I'm getting body slammed across the wall.
Geez.
You know, I'm like, lady, what? Hello. I came to play Barbie. You know? Oh, boy.
Well, sometimes when you have that testosterone built up, you just got to slam people against the walls.
Oh, man. Even at family parties, what do you mean you don't like my lasagna? And all of a sudden you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Food fight.
Ding, 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 ding.
So there's a lot of games expecting, a lot of theme parties, movies, shows, nightly dinners with the Glow Girls, and just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of interaction with the fans.
Listen, I'm just happy that there's a gym on board because with all this eating that they're claiming people are going to be doing, pizza eating, I need to go to the gym.
Yeah.
I might not be able to do on the ship the 2 hours and 30 minutes of the cardio along with the hour that I break up into the weights and the abs, but if I'm able to at least get 30 minutes or an hour of cardio while I'm there on the ship, I think that's going to be good because I need to do it. You know.
Wow.
You trying to stuff my face with pizza by force,
Yeah, just let
go
loose
to your
a little
corner.
bit.
You've been bad.
Right.
Now you're going to eat this pizza.
Just let loose a little bit. Just it's only a couple of carbs. You'll be fine.
Oh, my God. I need to be able to fit into my bathing suit, into my specialized wetsuit that I got.
You'll look glamorous regardless.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll be looking glamorous.
Yeah. So once again, where can people find the information about the Glow Cruise?
OriginalGlowGirls.com. And the cruise is from September 7th to September 14th. They still got some cabins available, so book yours now. And once again, if you feel it's a little bit tight on your budget, because a lot of people, they're budgeting now, Christmas is around the corner, share a cabin with a friend and everything's cut in half. Everything is half of the cost. And they're leaving out of Long Beach, California. So if you're in the California area, you save yourself airfare. If not, you need to hop on the plane, hop on the boat, hop on the motorcycle, hop in the car, hop on the train, the bus, however, hop on your broom, fly in your broom, however you're getting there.
Because you're flying out there from New York to California, so
yes, I am.
Either way, it's going to be one big adventure for you personally.
Oh yeah, I mean I've been to California numerous times, but I've never been to Mexico. I've been to Cuba, I've been to Canada, I've been to France.
Nice.
Several different states, so this is going to be kind of exciting, something different, something to do. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. I don't know what I'm doing. I did promise them that I would help them out, whatever they needed helping with, and
right.
Because that's the kind of person I am.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
That's pretty much it.
You'll be fine. You have a good time with the hula contest and observing the rap battles and all and everything else. So, yeah, sounds like fun. And again, you'll be in the gym most of the time if they can't find you.
Maybe I'll add like some beatboxing to it. Like,
yeah, there you go. Yeah. Rap off of this.
Remix.
Yeah, let's see how much Carmen can keep up with you with your mixing and think, well, girl, slow down.
Well, no. I think Carmen could. I think out of all of them, I'm gonna get beat with a bag of soaps after this. But I think out of all of them, probably Carmen would be the one that would actually know how to rap.
Wow.
but I'll leave that at that. She seems more like she's more into being able to like rap. You know, she does live in Chicago. You know, she was from Vegas. You know, she's got that. You know, I know how to rap type of look to her.
Right.
You know, like I said, I'll probably get beat with a bag of soaps after this, but you know, it's okay. I'll get beat with a bag of soaps and the pineapples. I'll be all right.
just as long as you recover long enough to get back on the cruise, and you'll be fine.
I know, right? I'll be like stumbling back on the ship. Oh, I got hit with a bag of soap. Oh my God, and a pineapple to the face. Oh, Jesus. Like, but I smell very good and my skin is moisturized.
There you go. Well, with that said, you were
and as we say goodbye, shout out to James and shout out to Adrian and Terry. Oh my God!
Sounds more like a people like, okay, you mentioned my name, and you know I've been looking for you.
I've been looking for you so you can give me back my soap.
Yeah.
James stole my lemongrass.
Oh boy! Well, there you go. Poor James. I didn't forget about you, boo boo, but he still stole my soap. Yeah.
Wait. The new line between me and James. Mm-hmm. James, do you mind if I smoke while you eat?
That could be taken in so many ways, but I don't judge.
Yes, it can.
I don't judge.
It's actually from a movie, but I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Unless you're Nicolas Cage and you're talking about peaches. But anyway.
Peaches. Yeah. Those peaches need some shaving.
I thought you peeled them. But anyway, let's wrap it up here. Well, I'm gonna have to try that now because I never done such a thing. Yeah, we wasted no time getting to this kind of show now. At the end,
wasted no time shaving those peaches. All right.
Because I'm trying to hang up here.
And once again, you know, sorry about your loss.
Thank you.
You know, he's in a better place now.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, after the 7 days, you know, light a little white candle to him, okay? And put some flowers. You know, it could be any color flowers for him, and you'll be good.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And once again, for any of your religious needs, go to Botanica Ochum, located in the center, the heart and center of Tampa, Florida. And thank you for having me, and I'll see you soon.
Pleasure. Yes, thank you very much for coming on and sharing your stories. I guess until next time, maybe we'll try to arrange another group chat and just go bananas with that one as well. But
yeah, hopefully I behave, because apparently, you know, my presence causes people to go crazy.
Yeah, it seems to do that. It brings another side of them out.
So I was told yesterday as well. No.
Oh, wow. You can say that for another conversation for another time.
Exactly.
But again, thank you so much for joining. And be safe out there. There's a heat wave coming. Everyone stay cool. Check on your neighbors, your elders, your pets. It's going to be a scorcher out there.
I'm sweating right now.
Yes. So
I'm sweating right now.
Make sure you hydrate every so often. And until next time.
I'm drinking some OJ.
There you go. Keep it cool.
I'm drinking some OJ, and no, there aren't any leather gloves around, but maybe they are. I don't know.
Ay, Dios mío.
It doesn't fit. The glove does not fit. You can't prosecute. Sorry. All right.
Oh, my God.
You must have quit. All right, here we go.
Yeah, the next thing you're going to tell me, you're going to join the invasion of Area 51 or something.
Bueno, I heard that there was some chupacabras going over there, along with the insane clown posse. I don't know. No thanks.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting experience.
Yeah.
You know, some gremlins, some chupacabras, some insane clowns. Okay. All that's missing is Celia's ghost screaming azúcar, and then we're good.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm gonna
All
read
right.
about. Yeah, I'm gonna read about you in a 10 o'clock news or something. Uh, so
Bye bye.
enjoy the rest of the weekend, everybody, and thanks for joining in. And until next time.
Bye bye.